Yo, what's good with y'all? It's Keymajor back with another video for y'all today. Sorry for the inconsistency in videos, but I got a video dropping every day for the rest of the month. So make sure you guys hit that bell so you miss some more videos. But with that being said, we got another video for y'all today. Some dark vintage Cubeatz type of stuff. You guys already heard that little preview in the beginning, so let's get straight to it. So we're on the FOP. I'm going to be breaking down every section, all the effects, techniques to replicate this sound, get the same sounds I'm using, and just make samples in this style. I first started with this analog lab. I went into the new Coding Files Volume 3 bank with me and Keon, 50 presets, and it comes with these analog tones that are perfect for this type of style. It gives you that real vintage analog synth type of sound, and I selected the electric chair preset, and I just have this very simple melody playing. So the way I made this melody was very simple. I just started with a regular C minor chord, a very basic chord, and I just brought the middle note down one. I think this is a C minor suspended. I'm not too sure. Having two notes right next to each other causes a lot of tension. It gives it that dark feel. And then literally, I just took this up an octave, and then I sliced this note, and I just took this same note, copied it right here. That's pretty much it. Very simple. Just copy it over and over. Only thing I did, I messed with the velocity a little bit just to give it more of a realistic feel. And then some of them are strummed a little bit. If you could tell, they're not exactly hitting on the grid. So this just kind of humanizes it, gives it that human feel, that realistic feel, and not be so robotic and perfect. So that's with the stock sound. On the effects, I wanted to sound more old and vintage and gritty, so I added this little effect chain right here. And I first started with this Corey Wong. So on here, I just opened the clean as a whistle preset, and that was pretty much it. I didn't touch anything on here. After that, I went on to this spring reverb, where I just added a tiny bit of reverb. I messed with the blend and the decay. Then I went to this Schweppes, and I just messed with these knobs. I took out some of the highs to give it that old vintage sound, and then I lowered the mids and lows. Then I had this ozone imager, just kind of making it a little more stereo. And then lastly, just this compressor, compressing the sound a little bit, and this EQ down here. And then I made it a lot more, 80% more mono. So I wanted to sound a lot more gritty, a lot more vintage. So yeah, now it sounds a lot more worn out, a lot more old, and that was the perfect sound I wanted to go for. So next I duplicated the same MIDI into another sound, and this is a one shot from the Coding Files Volume 3. This is one of the looped one shots. So this is not your normal average type of one shot. This is a looped one shot. So it has these loop points, and inside these loop points, it has a lot of modulation, a lot of like filters and effects going on to give it that real vintage type of sound. When you hold down on a note with the one shot, it constantly loops, just like a real synth, you know, it doesn't just cut off awkwardly. So that's the same melody, and that's just the raw sound. With the effects, I added this halftime, and I messed with the band a little bit, and then I added this chorus just to give it that chorus washed out feel. And then I added this parametric EQ, cutting out a lot of the highs and then lowering some of the mids, and then lower mids. Down here, another EQ, and I just pan this one to the right. After that, I went on and added this bass from Keyscape. This is the preset right here, and I just added a very basic melody. So for the bass, I just wanted to follow the root notes, but I wanted to give it some more groove, bounce, so I added these notes in between. And to give it that dark feeling, I added this last note right here. For the effects, I had this EQ cutting out a lot of the highs, and then I had this compressor right here, where I'm just compressing the sound. And that was basically the main melody. After that, I added a couple of textures, phrases, perk loops, accents to really just kind of fill in the gaps. First thing I added was I exported the original Analog Lab preset, and I had halftime on it, so it sounded like this. So it still had that vintage washed out type of sound. It was just a lot slower. So what I did is I pitched it up an octave, and then for the effects on here, I had a flanger to go with that washed out chorus type of sound. And then I added this gross beat, and it has basically just this very simple sidechain effect to give it some more movement, some more rhythm. Pancake to give it some more movement, again making it pan left and right. And then lastly, just this EQ, taking out some of these harsh mids and then lowering some of the highs. Pan it to the left, and this is how that sounded afterwards. Making these type of samples, it really depends all on sound selection, choosing really good sounds, and it's gonna be really hard to replicate when you don't have, you know, good high quality sounds. All the sounds I'm using come from Coding Files Volume 3 with me and Keyon, which comes out Saturday, May 25th. But for now, you guys could get a free demo. It'll be the first link in the description, completely free demo. But with that being said, after that, I added one of the phrases from the kit, and I chose this one right here. And I just dragged it on. It was already on tempo, and I just matched the key to the sample. I also pitched it up an octave, and on the effects, all I did was take out the lows. But what I did to give it some more, just to spice it up a little bit, is I added this little automation clip that controls the pitch. So I put it at 12. Just adding that little detail makes it sound a lot better. And then after that, I added 2 more sounds, just a very simple perk loop from the drum kit section. There's a bunch of perk loops in this kit and a whole drum kit in here as well. For the effects, I just went with that same washed out chorus vintage type of sound. So I had this flanger on here, then I had this EQ cutting out the highs, and then I just had this compressor, and then lastly a pancake, giving it some more movement. But after that, it sounded like this. And you can tell it's a lot slower too because I stressed it out to be half speed. And then lastly, I just added this accent from this Nico Baran kit. Just dragged it in, matched it with the key, and then here's how that sounds. That's pretty much it. I came up with this arrangement where for the second half of the sample, I took some sounds out, spiced up the sample so it wasn't so repetitive and boring for the listener. And then for the master, I have this sound shifter pitching it down 1, and then I have this compressor compressing the sample, for the limiter kind of making it louder, and the same with this soft clipper making it louder. And then I exported that, and this is the final sample. That's pretty much it for this whole sample. I really hope you guys did enjoy and learn something new. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell because I'm uploading videos every day for the rest of the month. First thing in the description, you guys can get the demo to me and Keyon's new Coding Files Volume 3. Comes with a bunch of drum sounds, a bunch of looped one-shots, some phrases. And the full kit will be coming out May 25th, where I'll come with a full analog lab bank with 50 presets, samples, all the drums, all the loop one-shots, all the phrases, everything you need. But I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.